Do you need to raise your prices, but you're afraid to lose old clients and you don't know where to find new ones? Are your clients choosing you because your rates are low? Or do you have high maintenance clients that ask for special discounts, edits, more attention, things that you just don't have the time to give? Okay. If you are answering yes to any of these questions, this video is for you. Okay. So let's talk about how to attract clients who value your work and are willing to pay higher prices. Okay. We all know how important it is to be a sustainable business. Sustainable means built to last. And if you run your numbers, meaning you've done your cost of doing business, how much income you need to make, and have included taxes that you need to pay, you will find very quickly that what you thought was charging too much may very well not even be close to what you should be charging, okay? And the tough thing is that if you start low, because you either don't know better or raising your, basing your prices on what others are charging, or you may just be afraid. At some point, you're going to realize you've got to raise your prices. And when you do, you've got to find new clients all over again, because those that paid $50 for a session certainly won't pay $250. And those paying $250 don't want to pay $700. And if you think that last number is high, it will probably shock you to know that $700 is not considered luxury in our industry. It's not. And if you think no one in my market will pay that, let me tell you, there are plenty of people in every city that pay that and more. I know a lot of you are local to me in Central Florida or in the state of Florida. I'm in Orlando. There are people that average 5,000 to 7,000 plus per session here. Plus. It is possible. So the sooner you know your numbers and start charging appropriately, the better off you are, because if you're charging too little, you're probably attracting clients who are always asking for more, okay? More edits, more images, reschedules, more questions, more help with XYZ, because they feel they got a deal in the first place, so why not ask for a bit more? Why not? If you gave in the first place, you'll give a little bit more. Now, some of you might say, Becca, I'm new at this, or I've been charging, this certain price forever, and I can't come out of the gate charging these fees. Okay, guys, I pivoted my business from art to photography in 2020. I wasn't new to photography, as I started when I was in high school, but I was new to the business of photography. It wasn't my first business, but I was new to the business of photography, okay? The first month I took on paid clients, I also launched my first mini sessions, and I saw what other people were charging in my area that were also just starting out, okay? Now remember, this was during the first year of COVID, all right? Everybody was afraid of everything, including spending any kind of money, okay? And I'll admit, I was afraid to charge a higher fee than what I saw others charging. But I ran my numbers, I charged what I needed to, and I made 5 times what others in my area were making. You can do this. You can, okay? So I wanna talk to you guys a little bit about the history of the sales market, okay? Back in the 80s, there were 3 markets for spending. There was value, mid-market, and luxury. So value stores were places like Kmart and Walmart. Mid-market were the malls, right? Malls were all the rage. And then luxury, that market contained stores like Bloomingdale's, okay? And this, guys, this is so interesting. In 1988, the mid-market took a massive hit when Walmart opened its superstore. Walmart up-leveled their experience, and though it definitely wasn't anything fancy, they revised their customer experience, and those rollback savings started catching the eye of the middle-class consumers. This was the first big blow to the middle market. The next blow came from Target when they brought cheap but chic fashion with a heavy marketing campaign to eliminate the stigma of shopping at value stores. Okay, designer brands actually started offering exclusive lines for Target just for them. And all of a sudden, Target seemed much less like a discount store and much more like an inviting and approachable place to shop with a hip vibe. So the third big blow to the middle market came, you might even guess this, with the appearance of Amazon. And throughout all of these changes, the middle market began to crumble, and slowly the malls began to close. The lines between the consumer markets began to blur. So today, you can roll into a Target parking lot and you'll see a Tesla parked next to a Ford. You'll find those that once shopped mid-market shopping at Walmart. Today, consumers cross markets. They look for discounts in what they value least, and they invest in what they do value and feel passionate about most. So that's why you'll see the affluent shopping at Target. You'll see lower income populations carrying an iPhone or even wearing an iWatch. People determine what their personal priorities are. They pay less for what they don't value and feel is not important, and they spend where they feel it matters. People pay for what they value. They will pay more for what they believe is a priority to them and less for what they don't. They will spend largely in those areas of priority and feel every dollar that was spent was worth it, okay? This is why you can charge higher prices. There's a market for cheap photographers. There is. There's a market for everyone. But you'll have to work a lot harder, put in more hours, and deal with a lot of particular clients who know they got a deal in the first place and try for more. You're going to have to see more clients to get the pay that you need. Okay? You don't have to go through that. And even if you charge low and that's not your experience, you're working more to make less. Okay? And this is a physical job. You are using your body over and over again, and repetitive use injuries do happen. Trust me when I say this as someone who was an artist and a dental hygienist, because repetitive use injuries happen and you don't even know they're coming. If you can make more doing less, not only do you have the opportunity for income that can give you a better life, more time with your families and doing the things that you love, but you're extending your time in your career. I mean, how many posts do you see in Facebook groups asking for recommended shoes because of foot pain after weddings? How many? Dozens, daily. Foot pain can end up being plantar fasciitis and then heel spurs, and that is not fun and can severely limit what you do. Photography is a luxury service. So why are we putting cheap price tags on a luxury service? Charge for what it is. Okay? Before I move on, do I have any comments about what I've said so far? I want to hear what you guys think about that history bit with the markets. Isn't that interesting? I'd love to hear what you think about that. The people that you think can't afford something, if they value it and they find that that is a priority, then they will put their money where they value it. They will save money on the areas that they don't value. Attracting clients that value what you do and are willing to pay higher prices than a majority of your peers has everything to do with three things: client experience, positioning yourself, and consistency. The most important of these three, because the foundation to all of it, is your client experience. Again, that is your foundation, okay? Let me check my settings here for you guys. I want to make sure I didn't lose you there. Perfect. But yeah, your client experience is your foundation, okay? Because without an exceptional client experience, positioning yourself and consistency, that won't matter. It will not matter if you don't have a solid foundation of client experience, okay? A good customer experience is sorely lacking. I'm sure that you've experienced that yourself. So imagine how rare and exceptional client experience is, okay? It really doesn't take much to, more to do that than what your peers are doing, okay? Expand beyond the expected and do what others won't, all right? So first, you need to identify what the deeper concern of your clients is, okay? Of course, the new clients coming to you for photos, that's understood, but why? Is this to celebrate a special event in life? Is it because a mother's children are growing up fast and she doesn't want to miss out on capturing the memories? There's a larger purpose behind just getting photos taken. What is the need beneath the need for your clients? Find out their story and connect. Show empathy. Ask, how can I help? Next, you want to make their lives easier by anticipating their needs and taking away their homework. Don't know what to wear? Here's a style guide. Need hair and makeup for your boudoir portraits? No worries. We've got an on-site artist reserved just for you. Ready for your maternity session, but you don't know the first place to go for a flattering, elegant gown? Not a problem. Just browse my client closet for the perfect piece. Ask yourself, what services can you provide your clients so they don't have to go elsewhere? And they don't all have to be monetary. Like I mentioned, the client style guide doesn't have to be monetary. But what can you do that other people are not doing? Okay? Now exceed their expectations. Do you have an artwork order that's ready to deliver? Include a free print, an ornament, or a small photo book as a surprise. Send a handwritten thank you card. Give a gift card to your couple 2 weeks before the wedding so they can have a stress-free outing to break from all the wedding planning. Ask yourself, what can I do that others are not? Okay. JR said there's room for all levels of service. You have to decide which market you want to work with. That's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. You have to decide what market you want to work in. And again, base that off your cost of doing business and your personal income needs and the life that you want to lead, as well as factor in the taxes. Again, if you have not watched my pricing for profit video, it's on YouTube, it's in my Facebook group, it's everywhere. You need to watch that. But yes, you've got to decide what market you want to work in, and then you've got to meet those people where they are. And that's what we're talking about right now. And that is positioning yourself. This is in person or online to be in contact with those who value what you have to offer, okay? Be where those who value photography are, okay? So what I want you to do is just stop for a moment and think about your niche and what kind of clients would be attracted to your services, okay? Is it families? Well, what kind of families? Or is it couples? What kind of couples, okay? We had talked about niche in the past. There's a video on that too that can be super helpful for you guys. But a lot of people think that they're in a niche when they actually aren't. Our industry is photography, okay? The category of that industry or a subset is weddings, events, real estate, child and family, brand photography. But that's not our niche. That is not our niche. Our niche is what is your specific expertise. Who do you help and what problem or need do you solve? Are you an adventure elopement photographer? Are you a brand photographer for female creative entrepreneurs? That's a niche, guys. That's a niche, guys. What if you are a newborn and family photographer who specializes in serving special needs families? Can you imagine what a relief and how excited families with special needs would be to find a photographer specializing in that? Guys, those are niches. Those are niches. Being a wedding photographer, being a brand photographer, that is not a niche. Narrow it down. Get specific about who you serve and what problem or need that you're providing or solving for them. Okay, so let me dive into this a little bit further. Let's talk about family, newborn and family photographers, but I'm going to speak very generally to this. Okay, so you probably think the first place to look where you can position yourself to find where these people are, meet them where they are, would be Facebook groups. But how many have you been in where a mom will post looking for an affordable photographer that doesn't charge an arm and a leg? And then 20 plus photographers, that's probably at the very least, will respond. So guess who's going to get the client? The cheapest photographer, of course. And that photographer is not going to be profiting, and they're going to be dealing with high demands. So why are we going there? Try PTA meetings, fundraising galas, and events held by private schools. Try local businesses frequented by families, children's clothing boutiques. You're not looking for the typical mom, guys. You are looking for one who values what you do and prioritizes funds to pay for it. Many times it's not just the attendees at these kinds of businesses and events that you're looking to connect with. It's the owners, the organizers, the volunteers. They are the passionate ones behind these businesses and these events who very well could be your next client. This, guys, I want you to think about your niche, the people who be attracted to it and appreciate your services, and get creative as to where to position yourself to meet them. And look for Facebook groups that hold these types of potential clients, not the typical groups where they're looking for the cheapest photographer, okay? If you raise your prices and you aren't getting inquiries, it's time to get out there and make some friends, because networking is a powerful thing. And please note that I said friends and not clients. Shift your mindset to genuine connection, because connecting is a very different thing from acquisition. The whole point of being able to command higher prices is being able to have a client experience that excels above the rest. And to do that, you need to connect with people. They need to feel that it's about them, that you care about them. Okay? Third part is consistency. And consistency is just that, keeping the pace. Show up and show up regularly. You don't have to kill yourself posting all over social media and going to every single event in town, but figure out what you can do and stick with that, okay? Consistency demonstrates dependability. It shows you're a professional who cares, okay? My biggest hope from today's mini course is that your perspective has been changed about pricing. that there's a shift in possibility for you and a shift in your fears.